What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video. We got something pretty good, man. We got, well, it ain't that good, but we got Pookie, right? We got a Pookie who is letting his kids know that, hey, man, look, I didn't want you here. I don't even know why your mama even sat over here and, put y'all at my front doorstep. I just don't know why your mama would do anything involving me and y'all, right? So, hey, he puts all of that trauma, puts all that pain on to his children. Now, KB, what do you mean by trauma and pain, right? Brother probably don't have any trauma or pain that most of your sisters will try to put off on him. Maybe he's just, once again, just who he is, just a Pookie and Ray Ray. And guess what? A woman said, you know what? I think he will be a good man to lay down with and have kids with. When once again, most of your women control access to sex. Now, I know women are going to sit up here and say, well, it sounds like you over here trying to blame the mother for a lot of this stuff. To some degree, I am. Yes, to most definitely to some degree, I am. Now, I'm not negating that this man is, this man is definitely a Pookie. This man is definitely a Pookie and Ray Ray. We always cast out men like this. Always, always, always. We've been doing this since day one. Even women, men who sit over here and lay down with guys like this are always warned. Do not lay down with guys like that. We always tell them, but hey, guess what? Women are going to do what they want to do. And with the time that we are living in where women have full control over another man's seed, once again, man, you have to be the one to make those decisions, right? And like I said, with some of these comments, man, it rings home, right? With some of these comments, it rings home. You would think at least a lot of these women would sit over here and jump on a man, but a lot of these women are like, here's my question. For him to act like this just isn't his first time, right? And even a little child say you always act like this. So once again, this isn't his first time. Why does the mother keep putting the kids in that man's possession? So if the man does something to the children, what is the mother going to say? Well, you see what this man did. You see, blah, 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 blah. Just coming up with all the excuses in the world that sit over here and try to make it seem like they are the good person. When mothers who sit over here and put their children in these situations, when mothers who sit up here, man, and still have kids with guys like this, they're not good whatsoever. They're not good whatsoever because you're putting yourself and a child at a deficit in life. That's just a fact. Y'all going to have a deficit in life, and this is what the mother is choosing. We can sit up here and say all day, oh, well, you're trying to absolve the man. Nobody's trying to absolve the man. But the fact that the man is this bad, the woman should have known better. That's just what it is. The woman should have known better because this man is not capable of being a father, right? But let's just go ahead and look at the video.
I can't stand y'all even exist. Y'all is like so irritating. Like, why did y'all mama even leave y'all with me, bro? Call her, see what she has so I can drop y'all off. I'm tired of this, bro. I could not spend no full day with y'all. Kids is irritating, bro.
We haven't even lived with our mom for over a year.
So what? It don't matter. It's just y'all. It's the simple fact that y'all is around me. I told y'all mama not to bring y'all around me. I don't want nothing to do with y'all.
We didn't even say nothing. We just sitting back here.
So what? You just come on now.
We're just sitting back here. What are you
irritating?
Talking? How? Because we're hungry?
I told your mama, do not bring y'all around me. And
Dad,
she want to steady pop up to my crib and drop y'all off.
Dad, it's 1 o'clock. We're hungry.
So what? That ain't got nothing to do with me. Call your mama. Stop asking me for money. You got no money for y'all. Only money for me. Okay?
Okay.
Like, what is wrong with y'all? Just please stop talking to my car.
Okay.
And call your mama, see if she has so I can drop y'all off. Or call y'all grandma so y'all can get out of my car. What you crying for? You should be crying to your mama.
We didn't even do nothing.
Don't cry to me, cry to your mama.
You
Your mama
didn't even do nothing, no. You're just yelling at me. You're always doing this. You act like you don't like us. You don't want us here.
I don't want y'all. I told y'all mama. Now, I didn't want no kids. She still had the kids anyway, right? So that's on her. Don't cry to me, cry to her.
I don't know what happened. I wish I wasn't here. I wish I wasn't here.
Ask me for money. I can't stand y'all even exist. Y'all is like so irritating. Like,
where have the kids been living? Would you be living with your grandparents? Right. Well, that's probably the case. This is what you tend to see in the black community when you have a lot of your sisters have these kids out of wedlock and don't, And once again, if you have if you have a child out of wedlock, you have a child before you marry, that's fine. Or if you have a child, you didn't get married, but you're still with the man that you had a child with. That's fine, right? But when you sit up here, man, and have these type of children, right, and you just once again just all willy nilly with it, just all willy nilly with it. Once again, where does your priorities lie? So that's my biggest question. If you haven't been, if your kids haven't lived with their mother for a whole year, where have they been living? So probably with their grandparents, right? Probably with their grandparents, and that's what you're always going to see. This is why I said that mother in this situation who thinks she can post this video and thinks she's going to get some cool points, ma'am, you are no better than the father. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And this is what you're going to see a lot in the Black community with a lot of your sisters, man. You're going to see kids, man, dealing with their grandparents all the time because, hey, well, I want to live my life. I want to have my fun. Well, you should have known that before you laid down with Pookie and Ray Ray and had their kids. Now you got to put all this burden and all of this BS on your parents. Once again, I've seen a saying where your grandparents should spoil your children, not raise your children. And a lot of times you have kids in the Black community being raised by their grandparents because the mothers want to go out and go have fun. Or the mothers want to go out and just not take care of the child. Or a lot of times, man, once again, because they have to work so much, right? They can't be around their children. And this is where, once again, you got to stop dealing with Pookies and Ray Rays. And these are your boss babes. These are your independent sisters. These are your chicks, man, who have businesses galore, but you end up neglecting the child. I've dealt with a woman, man, who was in her 30s, man, and she had 3 kids. 3 kids, a single mother, 3 kids. Guess where she was living? She was living with her mother. Right now, granted, I'm not saying that she was a bad mother or anything, but the fact that you were living with your mother, right? Guess what she had? She claimed she had a business. She had a little hair salon or whatever, right? But once again, you had all of these kids. You can't go into the house because my mama. It's like, man, dang, what? But you're a grown woman, though. You're a grown woman, but hey, guess what? When she's not home, who's watching those kids? Well, hey, I can have my mama watch my kids if you're trying to go and hang out or whatever. It's like once again, what are we doing? What are we doing? So you're not raising the kids, your father not raising the kids, so your grandmother got to raise them. And once again, this is where you will see it so many times in the Black community. Grandparents having to sit over here and not only raise their own children, but they have to raise their grandchildren. So let's go ahead and read these comments. Someone says, why would the mom keep putting her kids through this? That's just the biggest fact. That's just the biggest fact. Why? That's just the biggest question. Why continue to put your kids in that, knowing that they're not going to be able to survive that? Knowing that they're not going to be able to survive that. So she's just adding on trauma. As I said before, she is no better than the baby father in this shit. Somebody else says he ain't want no kids with her and she kept them. That's generally what you see a lot of times. And this is why I said earlier, where when men lose all rights to the seed once they don't give it to the woman. Right. And the woman picks and chooses on whether she wants to have the child or not. Now we can sit over here and say, oh, well, maybe she couldn't sit over here and AB those kids, OK. Right. Yeah. You're right. Maybe she couldn't. Maybe she couldn't pop a pill, plan B or whatever. Right. Because of the abortion laws. Right. But here's the thing. Right. Them kids look mighty old. And then the abortion law just got passed about, I want to say, a year ago or so. So once again, she could have made plenty of good choices to keep from getting into this type of situation. Somebody else says, I would never allow my kids to be with him alone. Somebody else says, when he said, I can't stand y'all even exist, that hurt my entire soul. For them babies, shaking my head. But going back to that comment where she said, I would never allow my kids to be with him alone. I don't, once again, why would you even allow a man like this to even lay with you? But hey, once again, when you allow women to have the idea of, oh, I can, this is my life, I'm sexually liberated, I can sleep with whoever I want to, yeah, I can sit over here and change him and this, that, and the third, these are the type of outcomes that you're going to get. It's just a fact. Someone else says, don't act confused about who you procreate with. Facts. Someone else says, that's child abuse. Now these kids have to go to therapy for trauma they didn't ask for. Blame the mother. Once again, you always going to have to point fingers back to the mother. The mother chose, man, to lay down with this man. The mother chose to sit over here and continue to put these kids back in that man's possession when you know the man doesn't even want to be with the kids. And then someone else says, if he's suffering with mental health, he needs to get checked out and the mom needs to get her kids, because this is how kids get yoked by their parents. And that's a fact, right? That's a fact. Now, the mental health needs to be checked. He doesn't need to be checked. He's already shown who he is. That's just who he is. That's just who he is, and there's no changing that. You just need to make the right decisions and not lay with men like that. And a lot of your women will sit over here and deal with Pookies and Ray Rays and say, "Oh yeah, he's a good guy, right? Oh, I love me a hood dude. I love me a hood dude that loves me and this, that, and the third." A lot of times it's not going to happen that way. You're not going to get a hood dude who sits over here and beat up everybody, shoots everybody, make all the money in the world, and sits over here, man, and caters to you every single day. It just does not work that way. A lot of hood guys have their own agenda. And generally speaking, it's either you get down or you lay down. So it's either you, hey, well, you get down with my program, knowing that I ain't going to really be around, knowing I ain't going to really be with you like that, knowing that you're going to have a bunch of trauma dealing with me. That's what you sign up for. But I'm not going to sit over here and say, man, yeah, he needs help or nothing, because that's just who he is. And once again, this is where your sisters try to change those type of men. These are where your sisters try to change those type of men. And it's like, once again, why? A lot of women have a skewed idea of reality. A lot of your sisters tend to have a skewed idea of reality. That's what's going to happen. Why continue to put your children in that situation, knowing that it's only going to lead to situations like this? But hey, once again, she felt that, oh, well, you know what, this man has everything that I need. He's pretty much he checks off every box of my fantasy that I want, and I'm gonna change him just for you to then go through this situation. And guess what? Another sister being a statistic, another sister jumping on the internet, trying to expose the baby father for the person that he's always shown her to be, right? So, I mean, hey, I don't know. Y'all let me know down below, man. What do y'all think? Do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.